Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Evolving Skies, make sure you go ahead and check out the Poketown store. You can get a 5% discount on your order using that code Omnipoke. For today's video, I am going to be running down how we use Tabletop Simulator to be able to test the new cards of the format before they've been released on PTCG Live or PTCGO. We've been doing this for a number of sets now. It gets me and Jack really well equipped to handle the new format, give us a good grasp when we are trying to do some deck building, some testing of new archetypes. It can be really helpful to inform your decision on what you're going to try and buy, for example, and what we're going to try and craft on PTCG Live, which is going to be great. Even if you are not looking to playtest the new format, Tabletop Simulator can be a great alternative to PTCGO or TCG Live. Just to get some testing again, inform your decisions in terms of trading on these other platforms or buying in real life, that sort of thing. And even things like old format, alternate formats, cube format, those sorts of things. Tabletop is a very good option here. So I'm going to run down how I use Tabletop Simulator to play the Pokemon trading card game, how I can import new cards that haven't have yet been released on PTCGO, that sort of thing, and playtest with them as well. So yeah, stick with me here as we go through this. So at the moment I'm on the Steam store, and you of course need to go ahead and get Tabletop Simulator yourselves. It's not a free client, unfortunately, so you will have to pay for Tabletop Simulator, but for me it's been worth every single penny. You can do all sorts of things on here, lots of games, lots of mods. Do your research on Tabletop Sim. You can do all sorts on here, barely scratching the surface just by using it for Pokemon, but already that's enough for me right now. But yeah, that's what we're going to be playing these games on. First thing you want to do, though, is head on over to the Omnipoke Discord, actually. Jack has already made the scans for Fusion Strike, and if you just follow the Google Drive link here, you'll see that all the most interesting and best cards from Fusion Strike have already been done by Jack down here, which makes life very easy for you. And these will be the images if you download the ones that you want, the ones that you want to playtest, that sort of thing, onto Tabletop. Download those, make a file for them. It will make you make things much easier when we are trying to import this onto Tabletop Simulator on a workshop that's already pre-existing. So then all we need to do is add this little bunch of cards, then you're basically ready to rumble. That's how I've been doing it every single set. Simply modifying a workshop that's already pre-existing makes things very quick and simple to get these cards working, and thankfully Jack has already done a ton of great work here by doing all the translations for us, so that now we can get testing on Tabletop. So yeah, basically pick your favorites from here, download them for yourselves, and then we will jump onto Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, just a shout out to the Discord there. I'll also try and remember the link in the description as well. But let's jump back to Steam and let's actually open up Tabletop Simulator. So I'm just going to jump onto another screen now, actually. So just give me a second. You might see my Discord, not my Discord, my OBS in the bottom corner. But this is the opening of Tabletop Simulator. I'm quickly going to create a single player game and show you what our end goal is, where we're trying to get to, basically. And this is, like I said, a slightly modified workshop that's already pre-existing. So a lot of the work is done for you, which is just excellent, really. So as you can see, I've just got 2 playmats here. I've got, dice, coin, damage counters, poison markers, that sort of thing, ability markers. And over here, I have all of the Sword and Shield sets. I have the new Fusion Strike cards over here, the trainers and the Pokemon, and the energy here. Once you have all these sort of built in, we can just play standard, which is great. And you have all this space. You can actually add more playmats here if you want to, and have multiple people playing online on your your saved workshop, basically, for yourself, which is really, really good. But many people already recognize where I'm going with this. We're going to be modifying Romy King's workshop here. And as we jump back in, if I just go to single player here, you can see under workshops there is Pokemon TCG up to Evolving Skies. And that's what we will be modifying. So let me quickly jump into this. Then I'll show you. I can show you what it does, and then I can show you how you can get it yourself. Workshops, basically, if you subscribe to them, they stay in this bar anyway for you, so it makes it really simple. But as you can see, the table is the exact same. Over here, you get a ton of dice, damage counters, coins, playmats, that sort of thing. There's iPads here that you can actually search the internet via the iPad, and you can search up cards or rulings or whatever you need to do over Pokemon. Then you have a ton of these bags over here, energy cards. Then it's broken up into sets, so E-Series, Diamond and Pearl era, jumping forward a bit, there's Black and White, X, Y, Sun and Moon, and Sun Shield is the only bag that we need right now, if you're playing Standard at least. But you can play all generations of Pokemon. Here, everything is printed and in these bags. The one thing I would say is that it does take up a lot of memory space to go through like all of these cards, so I would like delete things that you don't need. If you only want to play Standard, keep this bag here and delete the rest. If you are doing Cube or some other stuff like that, you might want to save objects instead and just simply bring them out when you need to. It takes long enough to load just these 100 or so, well, a few hundred cards, so keeping like thousands and thousands around takes a long time. The only reason this is taking really long is because I recently deleted a lot of my images from the sort of tabletop area, because it can become like tens and thousands of things and it ends up taking up way too much space on your computer. But I'm just trying to show you that you can save objects. For example, I could save all of those Sword and Shield sets and simply paste them in here if I wanted to work on this workshop instead and just add in additional cards from like previous sets or whatever. It is possible for you, as you can see slowly. My cube here that I just couldn't resist plonking into tabletop is slowly loading up. Not that this is even relevant, but regardless. So while that loads up, I will actually once again just hop onto the other screen and go back to the Steam library here. So like I said, go to the store, download Tabletop Sim. Then we're going to try and get this workshop from Romy King. So I simply went onto the community tab, and you're just going to want to type in Evolving Skies. That's the current latest set, and that's always going to be the name of this workshop from Romy King. It will be Pokemon TCG up to, and then Evolving Skies is the latest set right now. It will always be the latest set, and it does get updated. So you just want to select this option, go down and subscribe to this workshop, and that's where we were just previously on Tabletop Simulator, and that's what's going to make things very, very easy for us. So that will get us cards all the way up to Evolving Skies. Now, how do we add in our own cards to then have the Fusion Strike stuff? So you just want to right-click here, go to Properties, and my tab's over here. You want to go then to Local Files, and you want to go to Browse. So if you've already downloaded these images from, in this instance, it will be the Google Drive that Jack has set up for us. You're going to want to go to Modding over here, the file, and then you're going to want to go to Deck Builder and TTS Deck Editor, and then you're going to want to hit New Deck. And this is basically going to give us a blank slate. You're happy with 10:7 height and width. It looks like there's nothing going on here, but I can assure you that there is. And if we go now to pictures, I already have some set up that will be the sort of end game here, but I think I want to go, where's going to be my best place here? I want to go to, I think I have it in here. These are all tier list things. Where do I have this? I really hope I have this in a decent place. Have I put it in a tier list by mistake? I should have prepared this more. This is all Pokemon stuff anyway, apart from some thumbnails. Tabletop Sim. Okay, so this can just be an example. This isn't all the new Fusion Strike stuff, but this can be just some images of Chilling Reign cards, basically. And you just want to select them, drag them straight over, plonk them in. That's kind of what you want to do. And as you can see, as soon as you plonk these in, it gives you a grid square of up to 70 spaces here. I wish I could find that image, but whatever. Of actually the Fusion Strike stuff. But as you can see, I've made the Fusion Strike ones. If I just pull it over here, you can just imagine that the one that I've just done with Chilling Reign is going to be the new stuff. But yeah, you simply then, you can use up to, I think, like 60 is the best thing for Tabletop Simulator. The default of Tabletop Sim goes up to 53 cards. That's just a deck of playing cards plus a Joker slot, basically, because it thinks that it's importing a deck of playing cards, basically. But you can actually change the toggle. I would just do 53 to be safe, because oftentimes you're skipping through things, clicking, and you forget to like change the toggle a lot of the time. But yeah, just be aware of that. 53 cards, individuals. You only ever need to put one copy of these into the editor because you can then clone them once you're in Tabletop Simulator. So the individual card is all you need. You just need the face of the card. And as you can see, I've saved the back of the card as well. I'll show you where to do that. But essentially, you just want to export that, and yeah, it will then save to your pictures, which is just very easy. And as you can see, I've done it with Evolving Skies, I've done it with Fusion Strike, that sort of thing. It'll end up just looking like a slab full of cards, basically, which is what we need, because essentially we're going to import in Tabletop Simulator a deck of cards, and all of these will be different faces of cards, and the backs will remain the same. So let's then get ourselves the place to get the Pokemon back, because there's already going to be cards on the workshop that will all be having this same card back, and if you just get a generic card back from a Pokemon card, they will stand out as different from the one that's already generated. So in this instance, I'm going to go to Documents in My Games, and we're going to go to Tabletop Sim, and then we're going to go to Mods, and we're going to go to Images, and you'll see that Tabletop Sim does vomit up images like all the time. There's tons of them, but all you want to do is basically take, my face might be in the way here, you want to take the image of the Pokemon card back and just put it in a better place, like put it in your pictures, then you can have it more easily accessible for you from this area. So I would advise clearing out this area quite a lot. As you can see, it's getting all of these cards from all of the sets basically that I have active. That's why you want to get rid of all the other bags from the other sets, because they're just not relevant to you and they will clog up this area and clog up memory space on your computer. But that's how you can convert the Fusion Strike cards from the Google Drive onto a usable thing on Tabletop Sim. And now if we jump back to Tabletop Sim over here, we can then simply, now that we're here and we have our saved document basically, which has those slabs of face cards, we can go to, oops, not games, we want to go to, let me close this actually. You want to go to Objects, then Components, and go Cards, and Custom Deck. That's where you want to be. We're going to click this, click away from it. As soon as you do, you have these face and back options over here and here, as you can see. So let's start with face, and we're going to go for this Fusion Strike one that I have here. We're just going to hit open, and we're going to go from the cloud rather than local. If it's from a local file, basically only you can see it, and like your opponent doesn't always see this. So you want to do it from the cloud, and then you want to browse your local files again and do the Pokemon back for the card back. And upload here. You can see the width and height are the same as how it was defaulted, and these are going to be the same sizes as all the cards currently in the Romy King workshop. And the number is currently 53. You could increase or decrease the slider up to 70 as you saved it from, basically. I know that we have less cards than 50, so I'm just going to import like 30 or something just so it saves us some time, and hit import. And it will take a while, but it will slowly get these cards in based on how fast your computer is. But you just flip it over, and there you go. You have your Fusion Strike cards. The one thing you can't do is you can't search the names of them, for example, whereas if you search the bag for real cards, I can search for Guzmahala in here for real cards. So that's the only like downside of importing cards yourself. So that's why it's always good to get the latest up-to-date Romy King workshop, because it means you can easily search these cards, whereas the new cards you can't quite do. You have to just go based on sight, really, and just pull them out of your deck when you can. But yeah, that's essentially it. Once you have these cards in, you can start tweaking around your deck however you want to, and start building from there. You've got your energies over here. You've got all of your Sword and Shield sets over here. It will take a minute to load up, but they're all in these boxes. You simply pull out Evolving Skies, and they will generate eventually. So there you go. We can start adding, get things ready. You can simply copy paste to get multiple copies of cards that you want. You can do all sorts of things here. It's a really incredible client for tabletop. And if you have any other questions, hopefully I made it simple enough for you guys and went through the steps in a very basic way to get the card fronts saved, the card backs saved, and then how to import them onto Tabletop. Because that's essentially all you need to do, because the workshop that Romy King has made is so excellent that everything else is basically done for you. You can simply play games on the client from here. So that should wrap things up. Let me know if you have any other questions. I will try and update the Discord to have a battle area, essentially, for us to play some Fusion Strike, so it's not just me and Jack testing. We can start getting your ideas in here as well. And we do want to reinvest time into the Discord. We have just sort of let it lay barren recently, but we do want it to be a more active and social area where people can test and exchange ideas, as we are, getting towards the new set, of course, and we are getting towards a new client. So we want it to be a decent area for new players to feel that they can ask questions and gain knowledge and gain friends to play with and whatnot. If it's on Tabletop or if it's on PTCGO, whatever, we're going to try and incorporate that into the Discord a little bit more. So yeah, hope this video was concise enough. I always ramble on, you know how I am. But hopefully it gave you good insight into playing. This is also, letting you know that me and Jack will be testing Fusion Strike stuff, going to be streaming a good amount. We're also going to be putting some of the best games that we have, some of the most interesting games, some of the highlights of the best decks that we create from Fusion Strike early on Tabletop Simulator. I know it's not the most easy viewing because it's, not quite as aesthetically pleasing as PTCGO, which is something I never thought I'd say. But if you do want to see some of the new cards in action, there will be some of that on the way. And then eventually, once we've got our testing out the way, we can get onto deck lists and that sort of thing. Hopefully, we will be playing Fusion Strike decks on live. You never know. So yeah, I've rambled on plenty. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will answer them in detail, and I'll pin the comments so everyone can see. So yeah, cheers.